Very good morning. I hope I'm audible and visible to you. Are you able to hear me? If you are having any technical issues, let me know. So we'll be starting the lessons right now. So hope you're all clear with the yesterday's portions, right? You're all clear, right? Any doubt in between, you can just ask me. So this is like an NCRT compilation. I think there was no title like it's given, right? NCRT compilation, but this is a class of NCRT compilation where we'll be completing NCRT compilation plus whatever is required for you. So let's welcome you all back to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, please do subscribe it for latest updates and notification. Between any troubleshooting regarding this is all net and all right. Any problem in between, you can just inform me so that I'll make arrangements for that. So welcome you once again for back to India's largest online platform where you're able to access the top educators at a single destination. About me, I'm Liyamol Biju. I completed my master's in English. I'm a research scholar. I've also completed my Bachelor of Education in English. I've experience as a career counselor and 3 years of teaching experience. This is my Telegram link where you get the notes provided. See, yesterday there was not so much notes to provide. That's why. And whatever being lectured, we have given it, right? So today you are having notes, so we'll follow it. We'll be sending the notes in the Telegram group after the class. This is regarding my Unacademy profile link. You can verify it and also you can follow me. See, here there is a description box. I don't know how many of you know about it. Yeah. This is a description box where you get medieval age. You can actually follow me on the Telegram group. This is my studio's feedback form is there. You can feedback about me. This is like educators link is the channel link, and about also my Unacademy profile being given over the classes will be conducted. Some of the classes will be conducted in Unacademy app, so that also will be there. So you can just follow it over there. So you get daily live classes, live testers, quizzes, and structured course unlimited access once you're enrolling into any of these courses. You can download it from Google Play Store and from App Store. Okay, this is our plan. So like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. So you get it for a 10% waiver by using my code BIJU. So use the code and get a 10% fees waive. Also, we are having separate optional channels and we are having providing like English literature, almost all literature subjects plus whatever being there. Both bilingual it is there. That is Hindi plus English is there. That is a more advantage. And if it is 12 months, that is usual price is like 49,500, but you are using my code, you can get it for 44,550 rupees. That is a 10% discount. Along with that, you also get EMI options. So you can use my code and that. So this is about my previous class, that is ancient history through MCQ. It was the last class was on Mauryan Empire, and due to some health issues, I was not there. So we'll be beginning the classes soon. I'll just update with you. Yeah, so we are going to see the dynasties of the North India. Dynasties of the North India. So what do you know about the dynasties of this North India? Good morning everyone, good morning. Yeah. So I'm audible, I'm visible, right? So anybody can reply, okay. So we can make it more what? More or less like, yeah, I'm good. I'm right now I'm good. So we'll see. So any doubt in between, you can just message me. I will be checking the messages in between and I'll just reply to you. Fine. So we're going to see early medieval India. This is a separate topic and very important topic. So the early medieval India can be divided into two era, like us 750 to 1000 CE and 1000 CE to 1200 CE. Like AD, that period will be the. So we are going to see the first period, that is 750 to 1000 CE, right? So can you tell me, let the noted be the, can you tell me some dynasties which we are going to see, that is important dynasties? You have any idea dynasties of North India? I'm having notes, so I'll be explaining the things here. Same notes will be there. I will be checking notes also. Three dynasties, mainly three dynasties we'll be covering, that is Palas, Pratiharas, and some other dynasty. What are the other? Rashtrakutas. Pratiharas, Palas, and the other one is Rashtrakutas. Okay, so these are the three important North Indian dynasties which is covering under this. There are some other dynasties like dynasty and Azam. All those portions will be covered. So first we will be covering the important aspect like Rashtrakuta Empire. So before that we will be covering this. So these are the three important dynasties. Now what we are going to covering, this is a major three important dynasties, and without this, no, you cannot understand it. So we'll see it. This is like a story. Please do listen it very carefully. Yeah. Hello to everyone. Good morning to everyone. So the first thing is there is an important growth of three important political powers can be seen. First one is Gujara Pratiharas, and the two dominated the western India and upper Gangetic Valley till the middle of the century. Okay, that is the first important dynasty. What we are going to see is Gujara Pratiharas. Okay, they are the two dominated people. They are western dominated, so western part and upper Gangetic Valley. Then comes Palas. Palas was ruling the eastern India till the middle of the 9th century, and Rashtrakutas, they dominated the Deccan and territories to the north and south. Good morning. So three dynasties, three different places they were being ruling. That is, first one is Pratiharas or Gujara Pratiharas, western India. Make small notes, or just Palas, eastern India. Fine. Whereas Rashtrakutas were in south or Deccan. So three rulers, like three. So these three were constantly fighting each other. They were constantly fighting, and their power for fighting is often described as tripartite struggle. So what is the meaning? See, these three groups, that is Pratiharas, Palas and Rashtrakutas, wanted upper Gangetic region. So Gangetic area. Okay. Why this Gangetic area? Gangetic area, no, for navigation, the land of fertility. So the land is very fertile. Water sources. You can export your things. You can have cultivation. So this area is very important. So always there is a conflict to get the Gangetic Valley. If you are having this Gangetic Valley with you, you are having more or less advantage. You are having a bigger advantage. Okay, the area, the strategical position. So in order to get the strategical position, there is always a conflict, especially to get the Kannauj area and all. So when you compare to Rashtrakutas, they are like a bridge between the North India and South India. So they are having, they fought themselves, and see this Rashtrakutas has become more or less advantage to this. So this is his Gujara Pratiharas area, Tibetan kingdom. This is their area. Fine. Gujara Pratihara Empire 900 AD. So when you're starting it, so it started Gujara Pratiharas. Their capital was starting their capital. So from 6th century AD. So when you're coming to Gujara Pratiharas, they started to rule the North India from 6th century AD. Fine. The capital was Ujjain. Later, they transformed it to Kannauj. Can you name the founder of the dynasty? Gujara Pratiharas at Pratiharas. Can someone name the what? Can someone name the founder of the Gujara Pratihara dynasty? You are having options, no? Just message me. So it is like more or less we'll be having. Can someone message me who is the head or ruler of this Gujara Pratiharas? The Gujara Pratiharas, the dynasty was started by Harishchandra, and the famous ruler over here is Nagbata II. Sorry, Nagbata I, that he ruled from Nagbata, that is ruled from 730 to 756 AD. This is the time period when he was ruling. So you got an idea about the Gujara Pratiharas. We will be seeing this. And during his rule, that is especially from the rule of Nagbata, the Gujara Pratiharas, this dynasty had been what? The empire extended from Mandur, that is the current Udaipur, to Malwa, and then to Gwalior. So see, this much area was ruled by them. So this is Rashtrakuta dynasty, Hindu Sakshis, Pala dynasties and all the eastern part. Fine. So did you get an idea? This is a basic idea. Don't worry, we'll have notes. We'll be discussing that right now. Nagbata I. Yeah, Nagbata I was the famous ruler, but it was by Harishchandra. In 6th century AD has founded this dynasty. So we'll discuss about this Pratihara dynasty. The other name they were known as is Gujara Pratiharas, and they originated from Gujras, who were primarily pastoralists and fighters. So mainly coming to the Pratihara community, they were like pastoralist community, and they fighted with the Arabs. When you're coming to the Arabs, no, they were instrumental. They were the most instrumental in carrying out march Arab. So we have yesterday seen that Arabs were invading India during 8th century. So they were especially in conquest of Sindh. We have discussed what you mean by the conquest of Sindh. So especially this area, that is Arabs move, were being stopped, or they fight against the Arabs. That is the Pratihara dynasty fight against the Arabs. Okay. After the conquest of Muhammad bin Qasim. So what happened in the during the conquest of Sindh? We yesterday discussed in an elaborate way what you mean by the conquest of Sindh. During the conquest of Sindh, or after the conquest of Sindh by Muhammad Qasim, okay, the Pratihara rulers or Pratihara dynasty fought against them, and especially the Nagbata one, defeated the Arab armies under Junaid and Tamim. Tamim and Junaid was defeated by Nagbata one. So never confuse. Nagbata one was the prominent ruler of Pratihara dynasty. He was never the founder. The founder was Harishchandra. He founded it in the 6th century AD. Fine. So Pratihara dynasty is very important because they were pastoral communities and they were big. They were more known as the fighters. So after the conquest of Sindh, that is why I explained in detail what happened during the Sindh conquest, right? So those who are having any doubt, please do refer the yesterday's session. So you get a basic idea of it. So after the conquest of Sindh, Nagbata one fought against Tamim and Junaid. Please do note the names Tamim and Junaid. So we'll move a bit fast. So in between any doubt, I'll just we'll be looking it. In between any doubt, we'll be looking. So after the conquest of, are you clear with it? Okay. After the conquest of Sindh, that is Tamim and Junaid. Nagbata one fought against Tamim and Junaid. I just I'll write here. I have given notes over there. Don't worry. So, but to make it more understanding to you, that is why. So Nagbata one was succeeded by Vatsya Raja, who captured Kannauj and thus become direct confluence with Palas of Bengal. Okay, so this is a story about it. We'll see. So they consider Lakshmana. Who is Lakshmana? Ramayana, right? The brother of Rama. Lakshmana is being considered as the epic hero by this kingdom, that is the Pratihara dynasty. And what is the meaning of Pratiharas? Pratiharas means doorkeepers. Why they are known as doorkeepers? They are still the doorkeepers. You can see. Like, where is this? This is the Gujara Pratiharas area. So after this is the Sindh area. Okay, this is the Sindh area. After defeating, that is Arab invaded Sindh, or after invading Sindh, after defeating Gujara Pratiharas only they can enter. Anybody, any enemies can enter to the India, because see, this is their kingdom. Like this they are being there. So North India was completely under them. So after defeating them, after defeating the Pratiharas only, any enemy can enter to the India. So they are like doorkeepers. They are actually like a protecting a barrier to Indians, means protecting the people. Fine. So what are the other important things Gujara Pratiharas are famous for? They are very famous for their sculpture, and they had a famous type of temples known as open pavilion style temples. And the important building which is coming under UNESCO World Heritage Site is Khajuraho. The dynasty was founded by Brahmana named Harishchandra and in around Jodhpur, that is in western Rajasthan. So we just discussed, and the prominence quarter comes under Nagbata one. We already discussed it. So we'll be seeing, we don't know much about Harishchandra, we just know that he is the founder of Pratihara dynasty. So if you get a question, never ever mistake it with Nagbata one. I repeat, because many people are doing it, that's why. So we'll see the importance of the kings, like who was Nagbata and what was his era is all, and what are the important things in his era. Fine, we'll move a bit fast, otherwise it's not good. It won't move, that's why. So first we are going to discuss is Nagbata one. So the ruling time was between 730 to 760 CE, and he's very prominent. Gujara Pratihara means one of the Pratihara ruler. And what is it? He defeated Junaid and Tamim during Caliphate campaign in India. And he had extended his powers during Malwa, Rajputana, Gujarat, and defeated by Rashtrakuta king Dhruva. So Dhruva has defeated. Dhruva defeated Nagbata one. Who Nagbata had defeated, or Nagbata one was defeated by Rashtrakuta king Dhruva. So this is the important points regarding his region. Once more, we'll be repeating, that is Nagbata one was ruling from 730 to 760 era. So he always checked the Arab invasion. See, the Sindh area. So he always checked it. He fighted with it. Tamim and what is another name? Junaid during the Caliphate rule, and he extended his kingdom from Malwa, Rajputana, Gujarat area and all. He covered his kingdom, and he was defeated by Rashtrakuta king Dhruva. Now we come to Vatsaraja 1. Vatsaraja 1 or Vatsaraja, he ruled from 780 to 800 CE. Okay, he is one of the successors of, he is successor of Nagbata 1, and he is the person who captured Kannauj. Who captured Kannauj? Kannauj was captured by Nagbata or Vatsaraja. He captured Kannauj. Fine. Vatsaraja captured, so he captured Kannauj, and what has? He also had conflict with Dharmapala of Pala dynasty. Fine. And he also fought with Rashtrakuta king Dhruva. Thus, and this area is famous for something known as tripartite struggle. So we'll be having a small discussion of what you mean by tripartite struggle. Then only you will understand the rest of the things. So he actually continued for about 35 years under various succeeding with ups and downs. So they maintained their hold in Kannauj till last. Still Kannauj is a prominent area. Why Kannauj is a prominent area? Still now Kannauj is a prominent area. Can someone tell me? Because of significance of Kannauj. We are going to see what is tripartite struggles. This is very important. Please do listen it. Notes are the additional things will be discussed here. So when you coming to the tripartite struggle, it started in 9th century AD. 9th century AD. And what is the tripartite struggle? The tripartite struggle was mainly to control the area of North India between Pratihara Empire, Pala Empire and Rashtrakuta Empire. 3 empires totally. So I'll just explain it here. Notes are there, don't worry about it. Tripartite struggle. Fine. We are going to discuss it. Tripartite struggle began in the 9th century AD. 9th century AD it struggle. It was between Palas, Pratiharas and Rashtrakuta Empire. Why they were being fighting for this? They wanted to take the control of the North India. That is the reason why they fought each other. And during this region, means during the tripartite struggle, Dharmapala of Pala dynasty, Vatsaraja of Pratihara dynasty and Dhruva 1. Okay, Dhruva 1. Remember, not Dhruva 2 is there. That's why I am remembering you. Rashtrakutas was ruled by Dhruva 1. 3 rulers, that is Dharmapala, Vatsaraja and Dhruva 1 fought against each other to get the supremacy of Kannauj, or especially the North India. And this struggle has continued, and always this Pratihara rulers were able to maintain this Kannauj. So why you have to control Kannauj? What is the significance of Kannauj? So you got an idea of tripartite rule, and this is about tripartite struggle. And now we are going to see what is the significance of Kannauj. Why Kannauj being more important? Kannauj is still important. Silk route. Have you ever heard about Silk route? Still a problem is going with the Silk route. What is this? One Belt, One Road initiative by China is going to the Pak occupied Kashmir of India. And still this area is an area of conflict. Why? Who are ruling this area? That is the Kannauj. I don't know. I keep a map or not. No, there is no map. It is somewhere like this. This area, okay. Those who are keeping Kannauj in their hand can control the Ganga trade. This Kannauj is strategically Kannauj is a very important location, and commercially also Kannauj is a important location. So Harshavardhana, when you come into the capital, it was the erstwhile capital of Harshavardhana empire in the northern India, but after his decline, what happened? These three kingdoms were fighting for each other to get the Kannauj. Kannauj is very important for the strategical location. Please do browse it for a while. I didn't take this map. Well, otherwise I have to search the. Okay, we'll be discussing who Khajuraho was being ruled under which king. We'll be discussing it right now. Okay, we'll be discussing so don't worry, we'll be discussing every point on it. I'm not taking it. Please do take a while and just see what is Kannauj and what is the importance of Kannauj. So once more, I'll be explaining what is the importance of Kannauj. This is Nagbata, also Raja Tripartite struggle, right? I haven't given notes on okay, so tripartite struggle, I have given a notes. That is for the control of North India took empire place in 9th century. The struggle was between Pratihara Empire and Pala Empire and Rashtrakuta Empire. Towards the end of the successor, we explained all these things. So you just so we'll get first you write a note on significance of Kannauj. I explained it, but I'll be dictating it. Please do write it. Kannauj was located on the Ganga trade route and Silk route. It was commercially and strategically more important, and since this is strategically and economically important, the tripartite struggle began to have the control over Kannauj. Fine. So we'll see the causes of tripartite struggle. We discussed what is tripartite struggle and what is the significance of Kannauj, right? Causes of tripartite struggle. First one is to get control over Gujarat and Malwa, to get control over Gujarat and Malwa. Why Gujarat and Malwa? Because of a trade route. Gujarat and Malwa is still a trade route to acquire supremacy over Kannauj. Still, it is a prestige of Indian politics. Prestige of Indian politics. So, we are discussing the causes of tripartite struggle. Why tripartite struggle? We discuss what is tripartite struggle, what is the significance of the location Kannauj, and what are the causes of tripartite struggle. To control over Gujarat and Malwa, because it is an important trade route. To have control over Gujarat and Malwa, it is an important trade route. To acquire supremacy over Kannauj, a symbol of prestige in Indian politics. To get control over the vast resources of Gangatic Valley. To control over Gangatic Valley. Fine. So these are the important 3 reasons why the causes. So of course, since a war has been there, a war will be having a consequences, right? So this tripartite wall also had consequences. We'll see what are the consequences of this tripartite wall. See, this war, the tripartite struggle, has almost continued for 200 years. Can you imagine? For 200 years, and still somewhere it is being continued in the other form. Okay. And finally ended the favor of Gujara Pratihara ruler Nagbata II. Okay. So this rule war has continued for nearly 200 years, and it favored, finally it was in favor with Nagbata II. Nagbata II of Gujara Pratihara Empire, and he made his capital Kannauj. The kingdom ruled nearly 3 centuries, and in long run what happened after, during the Islamic invaders, we'll see Delhi Sultanate and all, Islamic invaders invaded India. So what happened? They started to lose the prominence over this area, and automatically the kingdom declined. So these are the main consequences of the thing. So we discussed something known as Silk Route. So what do you know what is Silk Route? Do you have an idea of Silk Route? Don't worry, this notes will be a pure note. I don't know. We'll be having right. Let it be though. Fine. Tripartite struggle. You get an idea of what is tripartite struggle and how this being you can. And what happened after the tripartite struggle being got ended? It started to rise to the regional kingdoms, like Chalukya dynasty was one among them, and Chalukya dynasty was you can say that Chalukya dynasty was also end result of this dynasty was also end result of this. So we'll be discussing about it. So what do you mean by Silk Route? So we will have a small discussion on Silk Route. So from the 2nd century AD, second century BC, from the time of 2nd century BC onwards, that is, India had always maintained a commercial relationship with China. India had a commercial relationship or contact with China. That is, through China, it had a contact with Central Asia, West Asia, and to the Roman Empire. So 3 areas it had mainly contact. What is Silk Route? Silk Route has begun from 2nd century BC onwards. India has made a commercial ties with China, Central Asia, West Asia, and Roman Empire. Why? So Central Asia means the area is being bounded by China, Russia, Tibet, India. So this is and Afghanistan. So this area it had a control. India had a trade relationship, and this is through this route. It is just a route where all this commercial trade being going on. Why this route was not a Silk Route? Because silk was one of the important mercantile commodities that has been carrying in and out. So in later times, the same route was used by scholars, monks, and missionaries to come to India, and this had a very cultural exchange and economical exchange between China and India. So this is all about the Silk Route. We'll see the other rulers of Pratihara dynasty. Bhoja I or Mihir Bhoja is another ruler which has been ruled this area. So he ruled from 836 to 885 CE. He was the grandson of Nagbata II. Who was Nagbata II? What is Nagbata II? Is very important. Nagbata II is very important because he had maintained something, right? What was it? He finally come success or victory won the tripartite struggle. So that is why Nagbata II is very important. So he was a grandson of Nagbata II, Bhoja I or Mihir Bhoja, and his region was nearly for 46 years and proved to be most successful and one of the popular rulers of Pratiharas. in the beginning of his career, he was defeated by Palas, Rashtrakutas, and Kalachuris, but subsequently he make a comeback. And he won victorious over Palas and Rashtrakutas. He had his capital at Kannauj, and which was also called Mahodaya. So another name of Kannauj is Mahodaya. So Boja or Meher Boja. He was a grandson of Nagbata II, and he had his capital as Kannauj, and later it was called Mahabhoja, Mahodaya. And it is, you can see his inscriptions in Bara copper plate inscription. Bara copper plate inscription belonged to Boja one or Meher Boja. Fine. Then the other one is Mahendrapala. Under Boja and his successor Mahendrapala I, Pratihara Empire reached its peak of prosperity and power. See, while seeing this name Mahendrapala, don't confuse it with Pala ruler. Mahendrapala was not a ruler of this Pala dynasty. He was he was a ruler of Pratihara dynasty, and it reached its prosperity and power. And it was like that of Gupta. So they controlled almost all areas like Sindh, Bengal, Himalayas, south parts of Narmada. And he took the title of Mahadiraja of Aravida, the great king of northern India. So his king court was adorned by Rajashekhar as eminent poet and critic. And he wrote Karpura Manjari. Karpura Manjari is one of the famous books which is being written by Rajashekhar, and Rajashekhar was belonging to the court of this Mahendrapala. So never confuse with Mahendrapala as Pala ruler. Mahendrapala was a Pratihara empire, a ruler of Pratihara empire. Fine. See, during the Mahendrapala one, it reached what? Zenith. It was like a Gupta empire. Once more, it was like Gupta empire because it was have a large border. So another work which comes under this period is Kavya Mimamsa, a practical guide for poets to explain the elements and composition of a good poem. So the other work was, so this is also written by Rajashekhara. Then the last king what we are going to discuss is Rajpala. During Rajpala, he was during his rule, it was being invaded by the Rashtrakuta king. Krishna III invaded the North India around, that is like 936-63 CE, and defeated Pratihara ruler. Raided Muhammad Ghazani on Kannauj. Rajpala fled from battlefield, murdered by Vidyadhar Chandela. So this is all about it. Murdered by Vidyadhar Chandela. Me myself know that this is something a board area of history. The last ruler we are going to Yashpala. This was the last ruler of dynasty. The last ruler of Pratihara dynasty was Yashpala, and he was ruled by 1090 CE. And what else? Gandwalas conquered Kannauj during his rule. So this is the end of Pratihara. The Pratihara's dynasty started with Harishchandra and ended with Yashpala. So these are the prominent rulers, and we are having whatever being required, whatever being needed is being given in a small rule. See, please not about the tripartite struggle, what is the consequences of it, what is the cause of it, and what is important of it. So we'll be discussing some other important points which is not being given as notes. Fine. So when you're coming to the administration, so we are going to discuss about the administration of Pratihara rulers. What about the administration of Pratihara rulers? They are monarchy in nature, pure monarchy. Here, king has the highest position in state and He had enormous power, so monarchical in nature, complete monarchy. So they had adopted many titles. See once more, please do listen. That is, Pratiharas has adopted many more titles, big titles. That is, Parameshwara and Maharajadiraja. So two titles which is often being adopted by them. That is, the Pratiharas were Parameshwara and Maharajadiraja. So we are going to see about the administration. So administration, when you coming to the administration, it is pure monarchical. Monarchical means king. Okay, king was the ultimate power. So they often adopted the title like Parameshwara and Mahadi Raja. And what is this? They were having Samandas because free Brahmadaya was being started in India during the medieval age. Since what is Brahmadaya? Granting free lands to the Brahmins being practiced. So automatically Samandas were there. They kept a lot of Samandas to help the military. And so we are not having any reference about ministers. There is no reference on about ministers, but a reference about Samandas is there, but no reference. See, note it, no reference about ministers. There is no reference about ministers at all. So they often adopted the titles like Parameshwara and Mahadi Raja, and Samantas were the Samantas are the, and no reference. Please do note that during Pratihara Empire there was no reference about ministers. Nobody has been talking about Mantri Parishad or about ministers. When you coming to the state, how the state is being divided? The state is being divided into bhuktis or provinces. Bhuktis, the state were being divided into bhuktis. The state is being divided into bhuktis or provinces. So each bhukti is further divided into mandalas. Bhuktis is divided into mandala, and mandalas have many villages and cities. Fine. They had an organized administration. What is being evident from this is that is a country is being divided into bhuktis or provinces is being again divided into mandalas, and mandalas, in mandala there are villages and cities. It means that they had an organized administration. So what about the villages? Villages were being locally administrated. The elder persons in villages is known as Mahatas. Elderly persons in their villages is known as Mahatas, and they look after the administration of the villages. Mahatas looked after the administration in the villages. We are having also a reference known as Gramapati. What is this Gramapati or Gramapati? He is a officer of state who is managing the village administration, and they defended able to defend India from the attacks of Arabs. So this is all about the administration of Pratihara. So once more, Pratihara's administration will be just discussing. Once more, I'm repeating. Please do make a note on it because I'm not making any special notes on it. They had a well organized administration. Their provinces were being known as Bhuktas. Were again divided into mandalas. Mandalas were again divided into villages. Part city. So this is about the political sphere. There is no reference, make a point on it, no reference about ministers, but reference about Samanthas. Samanthas were the people were being ruling about it. Samanthas were being there. And what about the village administration? The village were being locally administrated. And Mahattas. Mahattas are the people who were the elderly people of the villages, and they took the administration. There was a special officer known as Gramapati to check what is being going or how it is being administrated in a village. So this is all about the Pratiharas and their administrations. They also took the titles of Parameshwara and Mahadev Raja. Fine. So this is all about done. Fine. So now we are going to see about the religion of Pratiharas. What is the religion of Pratiharas? Can someone tell me what is the religion of Pratiharas? They were Hindu in religion, and different sects of Hinduism was being practiced in their rule. That is like Vaishnavisa, Shaivisa, Shakta were the prominent sect of Hinduism. Their religion was Hinduism. And which all the sect? Vaishnava was there. Shaiva was the, Shakta was the. So these three prominent groups can be seen there. That Vaishnava, Shaiva and Shakta are the three prominent religion which you can see in them. And they had constructed many temples. Somanath temple is one of the examples. Then you can also see a sculpture of Mihar Bhoja. So this is all about the religion. Now we'll see a small note on economy. What is economy? They were agrarian in nature. Agrarian community. They were agrarian community, and their main source of government revenue was tax levied on agricultural. So since they were an agrarian community, obviously they will be collecting tax from the agriculture. And they had standing armies. So this taxes which is being collected were used to maintain the armies. So you can see the evidences of copper coins being there, and copper coin was the major exchange things. So when you coming to, this is all about the economy. Once more, economy was an agrarian economy. Taxes were being collected. Whatever the taxes being collected, that taxes were being used to maintain a huge army. So they had a huge army, and that army was being maintained by them. So now we are going to discuss the art and architecture. So religion. So Pratiharas was, what was the religion of Pratiharas? They were not Buddhist nor Jains, but they were Hindus. Hinduism was the prominent religion over there. And now we'll be seeing the art and architecture. So when you see the art and architecture, they built various temples near Oswan. They can be seen at Oswan in Gujarat. Their particular work. Oswan in Gujarat, where you can see a particular evidence of their work. And to the east, you can see the fort of Chittoor. Fort of Chittoor is one of the example of art and architecture of this. And Telika Mandir. This is one of the best example of art and architecture of them. That is Telika Mandir. Fine. And Galiwal Fort is wonderful examples. They have constructed a lot of temples. So what are the speciality when you come into their temples? They had open yeah. So somebody asked me a doubt about it. I'm checking what was it. It's not visible right now. Some temple being constructed. I told also. I not remember. Okay. So please listening. No, please message me once more. I'll just tell you which is the temple being constructed. So they had a lot of temples being constructed and important. No. Good morning. Telika Mandir. Telika Mandir is very important. And now we'll see what is the importance of this dynasty. This dynasty has some importance. We will see what is it. So they had great influence of Kannauj. They had warfares and all. And they had influence in Punjab, Central India and Northern Bengal. Bengal was ruled by Palas, but they had an influence in Northern Bengal. And they consecutively ruled for nearly 3 centuries. And they defended the many Arab invasions, but finally Arabs invaded it. Islam invasions came, and we'll be discussing it during the Delhi Sultanate. You can see that they were the greatest Hindu imperial dynasty which ruled in the northern India prior to Islamic occupation. So they were the prominent Hindu dynasty. Once more, please note, a Pratihara dynasty was the prominent Hindu dynasty. They are the prominent Hindu dynasty. So this is all about Pratihara dynasty. I hope you're clear with it. A simple thing, but with much explanation. I have given you notes, additional points being discussed here. Please do write it and study it. You don't want extra things. Nothing is extra is being required. Whatever being required be discussed here. Now we will be discussing about another important dynasty, that is known as Pala dynasty. Pala dynasty is the easternmost dynasty, and it after the death of King Shashanka, that is in 637 CE, after his death, the Bengal was in a turmoil condition, and this reached rise to what? Another most famous dynasty known as Bengal Palas. So many cause and confusion there. There was interior disorders. So after the death of this Shashanka was a Gauda king. Okay. After his death, there was many chores and confusions being prevailed or existed in the Bengal, and the internal order was completely disordered, and many external invasion was also being there. So we are discussing Palas of Bengal. They belongs to the eastern India, and after the death of the king Gauda king Shashanka, the everything whatever being existed, the condition being existed in Bengal got collapsed. Internal disorders being there, and also they were forced by the external invasion. And what happened now, since this situation was being going on, the existing kings of Gauda Empire meet together. They had an assembly and they decided Gopala as their king, and this is how the Gopala, also known as Gopala I, became the founder of Pala dynasty of Bengal around 750 AD. So what are the external invasions being you can be envisaged during the Palas? That is, the main external invasion was Yashovarma of Kannauj, Lalitaditya of Kashmir, and even Chinese army attacked them. Bhaskaravarman, who was Bhaskaravarman? He was a ruler of Assam. He also conquered Bengal, and this Harsha was there. And finally, they had a meeting. The Gauda people who being existed over there decided to have a meeting, and they conducted a meeting and they founded it, and they used to this Gopala as the king. Or this led to the foundation of which Pala Empire. So this is a story, very small story and very short story. 1 minute, I didn't make a So Dharmapala was succeeded by one of the famous ruler, that is Gopala I was succeeded by his son, that is Dharmapala. He was very famous and was most able Pala ruler, and he conquered many states. So he dethroned somebody who was being ruling in thus and nominated him and set up a palace at Kannauj, and 30 years he ruled. It was like a long region which is having very succeeded. So we'll see what is the meaning of Pala. The Pala means protector. It is language being used here is Prakrit. So Pala dynasty means they are the protector dynasty. Pala kingdoms, what are the present day? Present day Bengal, Bihar. Included in this Pala dynasty, also included many cities like Pataliputra, Vikramapura, Ramavati, Monkal, Tamralapti and Jagadala. So Pala dynasty was being included. So the present day Bengal and Bihar. The present day Bengal and Bihar are the part of this Pala dynasties. Okay. Pataliputra, Vikramapura, Ramavati, Mangur, Tamralapti, Jagadala are the important cities which is being you can see in the Pala dynasty. And what is the meaning of this Pala dynasty? Pala means protector. In ancient language, it just means Prakrit. The tripartite struggle we already discussed. It was being continuing the. So when you coming to the religion of Pala dynasty, they were mainly Mahayana Buddhism. They were the practices of Mahayana Buddhism, especially the Tantric Buddhism. So Pala I, he was a prominent devotee of this Buddhist, and built as a famous monastery as Odantapuri. Odantapuri was a famous Buddhist monastery of Odantapuri was constructed by Gopala I. Gopala I constructed the famous Odantapuri dynasty, and he was a practitioner of Buddhism. Pratihara dynasty was Hinduism. Their religion was Hindus. They were completely Hindu dynasty, whereas the Pala dynasty was Buddhist dynasty, and especially they followed Mahayana Buddhism and the Tantric Buddhism, which has its roots in China. Okay. And this Pala legacy of Buddhism can be seen still in Tibetan Buddhism. Tibetan Buddhism follow the Pala legacy. And Gopala I was a devout Buddhist, and he built what is the famous Odantapuri monastery. So the famous Buddhist philosopher Haribhadra. Okay, the famous Buddhist philosopher Haribhadra was the guru and mentor to this Gopala one. And other establishment was Haribhadra was famous to Dharmapala, not Gopala one, Dharmapala one. Okay, Haribhadra was mentor to Dharmapala one, and he constructed Vikramashila monastery. So the famous Vikramashila monastery was constructed by Dharmapala I. Okay, Odandapuri monastery was Gopala I, and another construction by Dharmapala which is very important, that is Somapura Mahavihara. Somapura Mahavihara was also constructed by him. And what is the famous things in Somapura Mahavihara? The Somapura Mahavihara, it had many themes from Ramayana and Mahabharata. And Mahapala I was the one who considered the restoration work and structures at Bodh Gaya. So he structured something in Bodh Gaya near Saranath and Nalanda. So this is about the former Palas. The later Palas also supported the other religion, that is Shaivism, and they patronized Brahmins. So this is about the religion of Pala dynasty. Pala dynasty, the earlier Palas were famously the earlier Palas were the practitioners of Mahayana Buddhism or the Tantric school. The later Palas were the practitioners of Shaivism. Odandapuri was constructed by Gopala, whereas Dharmapala has a renowned Buddhist, and he constructed Haribhadra. So you can also see Vikramashila monastery was being constructed. Somapura Vihara was being constructed, and this is all about the region of Pala. We'll see some kings under them. Gopala. You can see the main advantage of Gopala in Kalimapur copper plate inscriptions of Dharmapala. So discuss about this Gopala. Kalimapur copper plate inscription of Dharmapala, discuss about this Gopala, and he displays later Guptas of Magadha and Kagada dynasty of Eastern Bengal. So this is about Gopala. Gopala was an adherent Buddhist, and according to Buddhist scholar Taranada, Gopala built famous monastery of Odandapuri. So this is all about Gopala. So he was ruling about 750 AD, and Dharmapala's Kamalipur copper plate inscription giving an account on it, and he has displaced Guptas of Magadha and Kagada dynasty of Eastern Bengal. Gopala was an adherent Buddhist, and according to Buddhist scholar Taranath, Gopala built the famous monastery at Odandapuri. Now we are going to see Dharmapala, that is he ruled between 770 to 810. So his contemporaries were Dhruva. He was defeated by Rashtrakuta king Dhruva. So Dhruva defeated Dharmapala, but later conquered a large part of the Pala empire, and he had a darbar at Kannauj. He extended his kingdom to Kannauj and did many things to it. So Chakravyudha was a person, and he placed Chakravyudha in Kannauj, and the Chakravyudha acted like a puppet. So whatever being there, he acted like a puppet, and whatever being done, being like a puppet. Okay, just doing many things. He was ruling, he was doing things, but he was being a puppet. Kannauj functioned as a dependency, and Dharmapala had Bengal and Bihar under his direct rule. And so both East and West or South India, his throne was being accepted. and he founded Vikramashila Monastery. Vikramashila Monastery was being founded by him. So you can see that he also translated many Tibetan language monastery, and he also translated many work. He also participated in the construction of Vikramashila University. He was also founder of Somapuri Monastery. And Bihar, he also credited a grant to 200 villages to Nalanda University. To maintain Nalanda University, he granted 200 villages. So when you're coming to Dharmapala in nature, he was much enthusiastically or interested person. Okay. So there was a famous Buddhist scholar was there in his court, that is So Shandarikshida, he is considered as a bird of Nalanda, was a part of his religion, and he founded the philosophical Shanta Krishitika. He founded the philosophical school known as Yogacara, Shavandarika, Madhyamika. Yogacara, Shavantikarika, Madhyamika was a school, a philosophical school was being founded under Shanta Krishna. Okay. He also united Madhyamika tradition of Nagarjuna, Yogacara tradition of Asanga, and logical and epistemological thought of Dharmakari. So this is very important. So you won't get this information from other sources. Please do maintain it. He was also instrumental in installing the Buddhism. Now we come to Devapala. So he was another ruler who ruled between 810 to 850. And he extended his empire from Assam, part of Orissa, and modern Nepal. So these are the three main areas which is being ruled. That is Assam, Orissa, and modern Nepal as the three areas which he has been ruling. He claimed that he has completed this. He claimed that he was ruling Vindhyas, Himalayas, eastern parts. So his inscription, victory of Hunas, the lords of Gujaras, probably Mihar, Bhoja, and Dravidas. He was also a great patron of Buddhism. So according to the Buddhist tradition, Salyendra dynasty king Balaputra Deva, requested him to grant 5 villages to the monastery of Nalanda, and he granted it. So this is a Mahipala is another one. He was ruling from 977 to 1027 CE, and the other one is Ramapala 1072 to 1126 CE. The last king, strong ruler, was Kamapura and Kalinga again revived Pala fortunes in 11th century. So this is all about it. The Pala dynasty. We are going to discuss the administration. So I think I'm going fast, not going fast. I think it's all that whatever you are required is being discussed. Is the 3 empires. We'll be concluding everything. So we'll see the administration of Pala dynasty. They are monarchials, completely monarchical. Monarchy means the king is the head and and all the power being in king. They also adopted the title like Mahadi, Maharajadiraja, Parameshwara. One more additional title is being occupied by them, that is Paramavatakara. So this is another title which is being occupied by him. Mahadiraja, Parameshwara and Paramavatakara. So these are the three titles being occupied by the administration. The Pala was adopted. So you can see the reference of Prime Minister. Post of Prime Minister was being there in the administration of Pala dynasty, but no reference of ministers in Gujara Pratihara dynasties. And they were divided into their administration. They were being divided into Bhuktas. Bhuktas were being divided into Vishyas and Mandalas. So when you coming to the land things, that is Bhuktas. Bhuktas were divided into Vishayas. Again, it was being divided into Mandalas. And the smaller unit was known as Kandhala. The Bhuktas were divided into Vaishyas. Vaishyas were divided into Mandalas. Mandalas were divided into Kandhala. That is a smaller unit. Other names for Kandalas: Bagha, Avarati. So these are the three types: Bhuktas, Vaishyas, Mandalas and Khandas. So they had a root. Their administration were grassroots level administration can be seen. So this is about the administration. Bhuktas were divided into Vaishyas. Vaishyas were divided, that is their divisions. They were again divided into Mandalas. Mandalas were again divided into Kandala. So this is all about the administration. Now we see the economy. So agriculture, here also agriculture was the main source of income. They granted lands to the farmers for the cultivation, and the chief source of income people were created from agriculture products. So they collected a small amount of tax, and you can see that paddy cultivation was very more prominent. And this details the economy and the construction can be discussed in Mungar inscription. So you can see the complete details of it in Mungar inscription of Devapala, as well as Bhagalpur inscription, two inscriptions, that is in Bhagalpur inscription of Narayana Pala and Mungar inscription. Two account or two evidence you can see this. They had many mineral resources were being there. So mineral exploitations was by use of iron. Use of iron can be envisaged, or you can see this. There were agro-based textiles were there. Textile industry was flourishing too. So when you coming to the economy of this Pala dynasty, they were not only having agricultural thing, they were having mineral resources as well as like Mungar and Bhagalpur inscriptions will be having the complete account on it. In the process of smelting, so you can see the process of smelting iron ore was being there. Then you can see the agro-based industries were being there. The textile industry was flourishing during the Pala period. Like silk industry was very popular during that time. And see towards the last decade, no, you can see that there was a decline in the productions. So this is about the economy of Pala dynasty. Then we are going to discuss something known as literature. They basically patronized Sanskrit and Buddhist scholars. Sanskrit and Buddhist scholars were being patronized. They had a special style known as Gauda Vritti style. And many tantric works. They practiced tantric Buddhism. So they had many works related to the tantric Buddhism. Chakrapani was being a part of their rule. And this is all about the literature works. Then art and architecture. So when you're coming to the Pala architecture, they are considered as the distant part in this. They are very famous, like very famous sculptures can be there. They are inspired by Gupta art. Pala architecture was inspired by the Gupta art. They had built a number of monasteries and all. Somapura, we are in present day Bangladesh. Now So Somapura Mahaviras, now currently in Bangladesh, is one of the important example of this. They have also constructed gigantic structures including Vikramashila, Adantapuri, Jagadala, etc. So Vanga style temples being constructed during the Pala. So Vanga style temples being constructed, that is example, you can get a very good example, that is Siddheshwara Mahadeva temple. Siddheshwara Mahadeva temple is a wonderful example of this. Vanga style of temple architecture can be seen here. That is Siddheshwara Mahadeva temple is a wonderful example of Pala architecture. They also use terracotta sculptures. They used terracotta sculptures. So this is all about it. Also miniature painting can be seen here during this region. Fine. So this is about it. Now we'll be having a discussion on Rashtrakuta. So what do you mean by Rashtrakutas? Rashtrakutas ruled between Deccan, famously between, that is 753 to 975, and especially in 6th and 10th century AD you can see this. And Chalukya skins, there can be so when you see that Chalukyas, when you coming to the Chalukyas references or inscriptions, you can see that Rashtrakuta initially they were like feudatories to the Rashtrakuta Chalukya. Later they emerged as a supreme power, and this particular Rashtrakuta dynasty was founded by Dandi Durga. He was the feudatory of Chalukya dynasty, and he fought and overthrew Kirtivarman II of Chalukya dynasty, and giving an end to the Chalukya dynasty. And this began the beginning of the Rashtrakuta empire in Deccan. Rashtrakutas. So when you are going to discuss about Rashtrakuta, they are the people who largely ruled in Deccan and to the south. They were like a bridge between north and south. Bridge between north and south is Rashtrakutas. So initially they were like feudatories of Chalukya dynasty. Feudatories of Chalukyas. Feudatories of Chalukya. Dandi Durga. Dandi Durga has fought a war against Prithvivarman II. Prithvivarman II of Chalukya dynasty, which gives end to the Chalukya dynasty and the beginning of Rashtrakuta rule. So what do you mean by Rashtrakuta? Rashtrakuta, the word literally means chief of a Rashtra. So he is a chief of a Rashtra. Somebody uses chief of Rashtra and being there. So when you coming to them, when you studying them, they are the people who have been migrated from Latur area. They were people who been migrated and they were belonging to the subordinate lines. They were the feudatories of Chalukyas, and they so they had achieved many military success in north and south, and in tripartite struggle. They defeat most of the time. What they did is we have discussed what you meant by tripartite struggle. During tripartite struggle, they had defeated Palas and Pratiharas. and they had not having significant rates. They bought plunder. So after the war being ended, no, they plundered many things. This is all you want to. So we'll be starting with Dhanti Durga. So we can see that where is the heart of the Rashtrakuta Empire? The heart of the Rashtrakuta Empire was being in Karnataka. The present day Karnataka is the heart of the Rashtrakuta Empire and some part of Andhra Pradesh. So who is the founder of this Rashtrakuta dynasty? Dhanti Durga is the founder of Rashtrakuta dynasty. So mainly he ruled from Achalapura in Berar. The one who ruled from Achalapura in Berar is the person, is the area where he has been ruled. He was succeeded by Krishna, one who bought major portions present day Karnataka and conquered under his control. And when you coming to this, he was succeeded by Krishna. So Dhanti Durga has ruled from 733 to 756 CE. As I have already mentioned, he was a feudatory. So we have discussed what you mean by feudalism. Indian feudalism is being discussed in the yesterday's session. Please do refer it. So Chalukya king Krithivarman, and later he himself fought with his Krithivarman too and ended his kingdom and become the ruler. So the Dhanti Durga, what is the meaning of the word Dhanti Durga, which means elephant in his fortress, also signifies his military feats and accomplishment. He also helped his father-in-law Pallava king Nandivarma to reign Kanchi. So to regain Kanchi, he helped his father-in-law also to regain Kanchi. So this is all about Dhanti Durga. Now comes Krishnavan. Krishnavan was being succeeded by this Dhanti Durga. This is a time period, that is 750 to 774 CE. This is the time which he was being ruler. And so the present day Karnataka, major portions of Karnataka and Konkan was being bring under his control. He also gave a final blow to the Pallavas. So he ended the Pallavas rules, and famous example was magnification rocket Kailasnath temple at Ellora is a wonderful example, and monolithic temples can be seen. Now he was being succeeded by Dhruva. Okay, during his region, the kingdom expanded all the territory between Kaveri river and the central India. So expanded, the region was being expanded between Kaveri river and central India, and successfully expansion of Kannauj. So he also expanded Kannauj, and almost all the territory was between like Kaveri river and central India. The region between Kaveri river and central India was belonging to this Dhruva, and so he had many campaigns at Kannauj, defeated Gujara Pratiharas, also Palas of Bengal. So he defeated Gujara Pratiharas and Palas of Bengal in tripartite struggle. So he also fought with his eastern Chalukyas and brought them under the control. And it became a Dhruva, under the ruler of Dhruva, it became a pan-India region. Now we have seen the Govinda III. He was the son of he was the son of Dhruva, and what was about him? So he had actively participated in the tripartite struggle between Palas, Prathiharas, and to have control over the fertile Gangatic plain. So he had fought for this. He was an active participant in the tripartite struggle, and he was victorious over the Pratihara Empire, Nagbata too. according to Sanjan inscription. There is an inscription known as Sanjan inscription. So in this inscription, it is being discussed how the Govinda III has defeated Nagbata II, and later he defeated him. That is where and so when you coming to the military exploitations, the Govinda III, the military exploitation has been compared always with the Alexander the Great. So he was like a great warrior. Govinda III was a great warrior like the Alexander the Great. Under the region, Rashtrakuta Empire spread over from Cape Comrion to Kannauj. So it was being also a large extended area, and it was like a pan movement. So this is about Govinda III. Now we discuss about Amoghavarsha I. He was a successor, and he built a new capital city for this Rashtrakutas, and the capital city was Manaketya. He was a great patron of arts and literature, so he patronized it. So he was also he himself was very great scholar. So we are discussing about Amoghavarsha. He bought a new capital, that is the capital was Manaketa was a new capital. So Kannada, and he was a great Kannada and Sanskrit scholar. He himself was a great Kannada and Sanskrit scholar. Okay, he was great Sanskrit. A scholar. His composition Kavi Rajamarga. So he had composed a famous poem known as Kavi Rajamarga. He was he had many contributions to the religious thing. He is known as the Ashoka of South. Amoghavarsha is known as the Ashoka of South. Amoghavarsha one is known as Ashoka of South. So this is all about him. Then comes Indira III. Indira III is the grandson of Amoghavarsha. He crushed the different rebellions and re-established the empire. He defeated Pratihara, Mahapala I, and sacked Kannauj. Now we discussed about Krishna III. Krishna III is the last great ruler of the Rashtrakuta and consolidated empire. So that it stretched from Narmada river and Kaveri and included in northern Tamil country. That is, he also had Tondya Mandalam, and he also had a trading relationship that with of the king of Ceylon. And he was engaged in struggle against the Paramaras of Malwa and Eastern Chalukyas of Venki. So this is about Krishna III. Now we will see the administration. It also, when you coming to the administration comes to Rashtrakuta. They were monarchical in nature. They were completely monarchical in nature, and all the supreme power were being vested with the kings. They had a chief minister, and the name of the chief minister is Mahasandhi. So they had a chief minister, whereas Palas had a prime minister. Pratiharas never had mentioned about any ministers. Okay, this administration had a chief minister that is known as Mahasandhi and commander. Commander is known as Dandanayaka. And they had a foreign minister What is the name of the foreign minister of them? Mahaksha Kritikata. And they had a prime minister too, and his name was Mahamatya. So these are the different names of the king. The chief minister is known as Maha Sandivigari. Commander is known as Dandakavya. I'll spell it once more. Dandanayaka. The foreign minister is known as M. Mahakakshapadalatriga, that is Mahakshapadaladhikrita, and prime minister is known as Mahamatya. So this is about the administration. So how being divided? The provinces were known as Rashtras or Mandalas. The provinces were known as not Bhuktas or something else. It is known as Rashtras or Mandala. Vishya is another division. So Amoghavarsha has Amoghavarsha is comprised or has he was ruling about 16 Rashtra. So the division were known as Rashtra. This is about the administration. See, when you coming to Palas, Pratiharas, here only you have to study some names. So only one part. Minister is known as Mahash Zandika Varghigi. Commander is known as Dandakavyaka. Foreign minister is known as Mahash Paksha Pradikartika. Prime minister is known as Mahamatya. So this is about it. So when you're coming to the economy of this, so they had agricultural mean as them. They had also having cotton industry. Cotton industry was prevailed over this time. Cotton industry, agricultural economy. Textile industry was also a prominent during this time. Textile industry was being there, like Ujjain, Patihan and Tagara. Ujjain, Patihan and Tahara, there was textile industry, muslin cloth was there, were really being weaved at Pathan. So when you coming to textile industry, Ujjain was one of the famous textile industry there. Agriculture was being all over there. Cotton yarns were being there, and they were being exported. Exported to which country? Borough. So when you coming to the economy, they were having agricultural economy was being there. They had cotton industry was being there. They are also part of a textile industry. Muslin cloth was being there. And you see since it was being cotton industry were there, so mainly they cultivated cotton. So they also had mineral deposits. They exported cotton. So when you coming to the economy, they had an exportation was there. Diamonds were mined. Diamond mines were, you can see diamond mines in Kurnool and Golconda. So they were Rashtrakuta. Rashtrakuta was what a part of Karnataka. Karnataka, what is there? Availability over this time, diamonds. So they had diamond mines. And leather industry was existed over there. Leather and tanning industry. Leather and tanning industry was existed over there. See, I'm not providing any other additional notes for this. So whatever being, see, when you are referring this 3 sections, means 3 classes, now you don't want to refer any external sources. Please do make a point of whatever being discussed. Some of the things I have given notes, economy, administration, and all. I've not given notes. Okay, we were discussing it. So whatever being discussed, only this much is enough. Please do revise it. Please do study it. That does will help. and you can see the existence of gulls. What do you mean by gulls? Gulls means artisans, and people have discussed or being done into small group known as gulls. You can see that. So this is about the cotton industries and all. Then when you're coming to literature, so what is the main literature? Kannada literature reached its zenith. Kannada literature has reached its zenith during this, and Kannada was the court language. You can see some of things being written in Sanskrit, but most of the things were being written in Kannada literature. So when you're coming to the inscriptions of this Rashtrakuta period, they are highly illustrious. You can see one of the remarkable feature of the Rashtrakuta inscription is literary content in messages. So something they are writing, they are sending, it will be having some literatures. Ellora and Elephantana, the finest examples of art and architecture. So when you're coming to the Kannada literature, the one of the famous one is Kavi Rajamarga. Kavi Rajamarga. So it is a complete discussion of it. And Kannada literature, court language, Ellora. You can see when you come into the art and architecture, Ellora and Elephantana. At Ellora, most remarkable field is Kailasa Temple. Kailasa Temple, it is excavating during the region of Krishna 1. Okay. So Kailasa Temple is very important, and it is one of the most important, beautiful, marvelous thing. And it is a building of Dravidian style. So Dravidian style only you can see here in Rashtrakutas. They follow Dravidian style. So sculptural architecture, one of the important of the sculptural architecture can be seen in Elephantana Islands. Elephantana Islands near Mumbai. Fine, this is all about the art and architecture. What is the importance of this dynasty? They ruled Manayaketha. It had a great impact in India, especially northern parts. Why? So many Arab scholars etc. has been mentioned about this Mayankana, and especially Sulaiman and Al-Mazudi. Sulaiman and Al-Mazudi are two Arab scholars. They had brought that Rashtrakuta Empire was largest in contemporary of India. So you can see also the discussions of Al-Masudi etc. Rashtrakuta kings is known as the kings of kings. Rashtrakuta king is known as the king of kings. So two references you can see, that is by Al-Mazudi. Al-Mazudi in 10th century. So this is all about the travelogues in India. So we had completely discussed, what was the title? The three important empires of the northern India. We had completely discussed it. See, once more I am repeating, I haven't given everything as notes, that is not possible, but we have discussed even the single points. So after listening this lecture and whatever being discussed here, please do make a note on it. And whatever being given here is like the kings and all their rules have been given, so extra notes and all not needed. But economy, administration, art and architecture, literature, everything being separately discussed over here. So whatever the points we are being discussed so far, please make a note on it. Just go through it. That's all enough. So every bit of medieval India being covered here. See, this is completely based on your NCERT textbook. This is like an NCERT compilation classes. So whatever being there in the NCERT, I have compiled it, I have discussed it here, and will be discussing it like that. So hope you're clear with it. You can follow me on the Telegram link and also on the channel. See, make a point that please do hear it from the beginning to the last. So this is like 1 hour 40 minutes plus. It is enough. You can use my code BIJ and get a face waiver on 10% discount. Thank you and have a great day. So we shall meet at tomorrow 8 a.m. sharply, where we'll be discussing other important points. I'll be just updating. See, everything is based on NCERT compilation. That is a thing. So we'll be covering ancient histories also, and whatever being important for the Indian history. So this is an NCERT compilation class. Thank you.